Alright, hello everyone. So we have the patch notes as well as the banner kits for this Gregor and Ishmael ego. For a very quick overview, we will just speed through all of these notes here and talk about the main important things to note for this Bokgak event. We'll have the normal difficulty and we'll also have the hard difficulty, but for the hard difficulty, you must clear 648, so take note of this one over here. Voices will be added to the story, so you can go and revisit all of your adventures, and you can access the hard mode. And the hard mode is very similar to all of the other events like Chicken or Blade Lineage. You just need to go and farm stuff, and then you go to Reward Exchange and you buy stuff from Reward Exchange. Right. So, the hard mode, you can get your first time clears as we expected. And the hard dungeon here will be open for a certain amount of time, and you want to try and buy everything in the shop before it actually leaves. There will be a very efficient dungeon at the end where you use one anchor fill-in module and you get a bunch of the sack stuff. It's very efficient for the stamina cost, but you can also go to Mirror Dungeon and just farm in the Mirror Dungeon. Take note, you can pick the Miracle in District 20 pack or Miracle in District 20 Bokgak pack. There will be two different packs, but both of them give you more trinket sacks. Alright, and the hard mode will give you more event currency than the normal mode. And weekly bonus does not affect amount of currency gain. Take note that any mirror dungeon that you started before event started will not give you currency even if you did take Miracle in District 20. Okay, and then if you do the hard mode dungeon or whatever, sorry, not the hard mode dungeon, the very efficient anchor fill-in dungeon, you have a chance of getting this huge trinket sack that will convert to the 20 regular sacks. You will be able to also get first time reward clears from main story if you haven't unlocked the event itself. So if you haven't unlocked, you just clear main story, you will get some sacks. And then those sacks you can use to buy the store once you are able to unlock the store. Right? So that is going to be all of this stuff over here. And then we got the event bonus egos. You want to equip Holiday Otis and Holiday Heathcliff before you do anything, because even first time bonuses get the bonus from this thing over here. Mirror Dungeon clears also get this first time clear bonus. Everything here. Mirror Dungeon, first time clear, all of it gets the currency bonus. So make sure you always equip Holiday Otis and Holiday Heathcliff. You don't have to use them, right? You just need to make sure that the ID has this ego equipped onto them. Don't have to deploy them, can be in the 12th slot, whatever you want. Really, you just don't need to use them, just equip them. Make sure you get 60% bonus at least. As for pulling this banner, since it's a double ego banner and Arknight's collab is going to come out, while Purgis is going to come out very soon, you probably shouldn't burn your lunacy here, alright? So take note of that. Just wait the 1 week. If you really can't wait, then just go and pull it yourself. I'm not going to stop you for that one. But I am personally going to get my Holiday Otis and Holiday Heathcliff and going to ignore these two over here. For the event reward stuff, you can get the announcer for the gnomes for free. And you can actually get the Heathcliff ego if you have not obtained it already. You cannot obtain duplicates of the ego if you already own them. But if you have not acquired it yet, you can go and get it from the shop. And you should do that before you go and pull any banner, because you can still get the Heathcliff ego from the extraction pool, and you probably want to remove it before you pull, because in this game you can't get duplicate egos. Okay, so now that I've talked about that, I will re-emphasize that again with this orange message here. The Zane ego Holiday Heathcliff can be obtained from the reward shop. While Holiday Heathcliff is available from this banner, please note it is more easily obtained via the event reward shop. So make sure you claim it before you pull this banner if you're trying to get Wild Hunt Heath or Multi-Crack Heath. Up to you if you want to do that. I don't personally recommend these things here. And then take note that Holiday Otis will be in this banner, and she will not be rated up to not affect the rates of these two banners over here. But if you dispense her, she's an ego, which means that these two cannot actually fight her for the slot. So if you already have Holiday Otis, no problem. But if you don't have her, you probably should dispense her out first, so that when you pull here, you'll still have a higher chance of getting your Gregor and your Ishmael, right? So that's going to be the main thing here. There's going to be two new packs. I would not recommend this one in particular because it's a takeoff module specifically for he egos only. It upties the ego to 4 and it costs quite a hefty amount. This amount here should just be used for pulls if you are saving for Arknights, or for Walpurgis if you are going to be pulling very hard, or just buying the Lunacy pack so that you can buy battle passes for the entire year. right? So this package here is really whatever. Would not recommend unless you really want to get the pulls. Definitely don't get this one. It's not worth it, right? And then besides that, nothing else too much except the 300 lunacy here. Okay, so that's the quick summary of the event. Let's get to the good shit, which is the Christmas Nightmare Gregor, right? So Gregor Ego, the main thing that I'm looking at here is this part here. If the target is in staggered, low morale, or panic state, you inflict attack power down and fragility against the affinity of the highest resonance next turn. Once again, I need to know how much fragility, what's the cap, how much resonance do I need to hit the cap for this ego. Then I'll understand whether this ego is really good or not. The other uses for this ego don't seem very interesting. This ego is a 2-coiner. It will deal more damage if the enemy is low SP, and if you are max HP, it will heal SP at turn end, and it will give you attack power up for next turn. Triggers Tremor Burst, Tremor, heals based off your missing HP, and inflicts sinking. Like, the only interesting part of this entire ego, to me at least, is just this fragility part here. Everything else here is just something, right? If it's high numbers here, then it might be worth looking back at, but like, I don't know. If it's a significant amount of potency for Tremor, this could be very strong. But I really don't know. It's just inflict Tremor potency, inflict sinking potency. This part here, the fragility, that's the real shit that I'm looking at here. I need to know all of those conditions, and maybe if these numbers are really high, we could use them as potency application for the Tremor or sinking. But I definitely was not putting Tremor on my list when I was looking at these egos, that's for sure. So yeah, apparently both of these egos are going to be Tremor related. Turns out we are in the season of Tremor. Yep. Okay, the next part here is the combat start effect of the ego passive, which is enemies who are staggered, low morale, or panic states, right? They will get offense level down or defense level down. So just because this ego actually doesn't mind sinking, it makes me think that this could be Linton's ego, kind of, or it could be a Rose Spanner ego, but that is more on the line of ADD Gregor. So I don't think Rose Spanner gets this ego. It's probably Linton, but then Linton's he slot is like Solemn Lament, isn't it? So I don't think this ego can actually fight Solemn Lament for that slot. So where does this ego actually belong to? Like, it's a Tremor ego, but also does sinking and applies fragility. I really don't know what is the purpose of this ego just by looking at it. I'm a bit confused on it. So I will just save it until I see the actual numbers from this ego, and then I'll understand a bit more on how to actually use this ego. The corrosion, you don't need to look at it. It's basically copy-paste of this straight up over to here. They didn't really change anything in the corroded form at all. But the Ishmael ego, on the other hand, the moment I saw it, I was like, oh my goodness, look at this bottom part here. If the target isn't staggered, low morale, or panic, inflict sinking count. Alright? Inflict tremor count. Okay? And then burst if they are not in any of these 3 states. Burst, again, don't care about this condition here. If the target is not in this state, you also burst again, and then you burst again. No condition required. Oh my goodness, this is minimum 2 bursts and maximum 4 bursts. That's already really freaking insane for the Tremor team comp. Furthermore, you heal HP, you heal SP for every enemy in blah 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 states, you gain Tremor count, and if the main target is staggered, low morale, or panic, you also gain base power. This corroded form looks actually insane, and it's a triple coin versus this part here, which is a double coin. This ego looks ridiculous. The fact that you can do so many bursts and you can get so much value out of it from the corroded skill. Even if you actually corroded, where you went to minus 45 SP, this thing like heals you a lot, it looks like. So I don't know, it just looks really good. It looks really powerful. The Ego Awakening, the regular form, is also quite good because it has burst here and burst here. So still 2 bursts minimum. But you also inflict sinking potency, you also inflict tremor count, and you also gain resonance tremor count. And if there are any targets in certain states, you will heal SP. If they are low SP, you also deal more damage. Right? The awesome part about all of this stuff over here is that the passive is allies gain more tremor count from skill or coin effects. And if the allies target is in staggered, low morale, or panic, you gain even more tremor count. That stuff there looks really spicy. Even if it's just +1/+1, right? That means that I could use Spice Bush, and he would basically be able to get skill 2 immediately after he presses skill 3. Because even if it's +1/+1, he gets it. And then he's also applying sinking, and his also skill 2 is going to be sloth. So I don't know. They're trying to cook something here with the Tremor and Sinking. It's a bit like how they're trying to cook the Rupture and the Bleed, but I still am not seeing that one happen yet. But I don't know what they're trying to do here, but this is a combination of Tremor and Sinking, and it makes it look really, really strong because this ego itself is just so stacked with so many things that it does with the corroded form. The regular form is also very solid, and then this passive also, mine. Yeah, that is really, really spicy. Mola Otis will enjoy it because it says, look, it says allies, right? It says allies. So Zoi Ishmael, Mola Otis, Regret Files, Spice Bush Yisang, all of them could potentially use this just to build up more stacks on themselves really, really fast. Your Euro Divi Honglu, etc. also will really, really enjoy getting more Tremor count on them so they can use their skill 3, skill 2 much, much faster. So yeah, this ego looks super, super spicy. Very, very strong and 100% belongs to Zoi Ishmael. Like, there's no way you can tell me it belongs onto anyone else. Maybe Mola Ishmael because of some sort of sinking synergy, but no way, man. This is 100% a Zoi Ishmael ego. I don't think Zoi Ishmael's he slot has too many competitors. So I think that she's able to just use this ego to go and just use this, right? Like, I mean, if she wants full clash power, she could use Other Blossom Star, I guess. But I don't know, man. This is a 2-coiner. It does a very, very strong passive for the Tremor team. It just looks really, really solid. And it's also Sloth. So you can force your Sloth Resonance whenever you want. Not really a main problem for Zoi Ishmael, but yeah, this thing here looks absolutely beautiful. I cannot wait to go and get this ego here. For Gregor, on the other hand, I think we need to wait for numbers first. Otherwise, I really don't know what this ego's purpose is actually going to be. I really don't think Gregor needs this percent healing. Priest Gregor already has such good innate healing, he doesn't really need it. But like, I really don't know. More attack power up, question mark. More fragility. Nah, I can't really think of anyone that really wants to use this one for now. Maybe they'll release a future idea and it'll make more sense. I don't know. We wait for the numbers first before I make any more assumptions here. Right, so for the last part here, the most important things to take note of is that make sure you go ahead and equip all of your bonus egos before you do anything. Make sure you go and do your mirror dungeons. Whenever you do them, you just pick your miracle in District 20 and pick your miracle in District 20 Bogart. Otherwise, everything else is roughly business as usual, with the only other thing here being anyone who wants to pull these banners, better take out your Holiday Otis first, better take out your Holiday Heathcliff first before you do any sort of pulling. Right, so I think that's going to be it for all the gacha shenanigans. These 2 egos, I can't wait for Ishmael, and I do want to see what Gregor is out of interest, but so far the initial thoughts here is that it's not going to be super, super important for now at least. Alright, so I think that's going to be it. I shall see you guys next time. Bye bye.